Hi everyone. I am coming to you from my craft room tonight, and this is where I make cards and do a little bit of watercolor painting. And sometimes I've had trouble with the connection in here, so hopefully my internet connection will be strong and it won't cut out. But I'm thinking about artwork because tomorrow I am going to go to the Brookings Art Council for some watercolor painting for a couple of hours. And I've talked to someone that goes to that group, and she said that they're gonna teach something about watercolor painting. And I love to play around with watercolors, but mostly I've done like abstract things, just lines and blobs of paint that I kind of mark over and um, kind of have fun with. But I'd like to learn more about watercolor painting. So I was thinking about how patience is probably going to apply tomorrow, because I imagine that I'm not going to be very happy with what I do at first. But it will be a good way to start figuring out what it takes to actually make a watercolor painting that looks realistic. Like I've seen lots of beautiful watercolors of skies or landscapes or flowers, and so I'm interested in that, and so I'm excited about it. But I know it's going to take some patience, and I'm going to have to just be okay with whatever I end up doing tomorrow. Maybe I'll show it tomorrow on the Facebook Live video. Uh, and I was also thinking about art because when I when I went to the writers conference last week, I went to visit our kids in Lincoln on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday I headed over to Iowa, and I stopped at the Joslyn Art Museum in Omaha because I had heard about it on the radio a couple of times, and it was free, so why not? I had a little bit of time, and so I stopped in there. And one painting has stuck with me. I took pictures of some of the paintings, like they had a Jackson Pollock, and they had, I don't know, they had like a Monet or something, and so I took some pictures. But this one painting kind of has stuck with me, and I can't get it out of my mind. I think I'm gonna have to go back sometime. It looked like it was a all black canvas with some drips of black down the frame, and the description of it was so confusing because it said something about dusty rose and sage green and a couple other different colors like that. And then it mentioned the drips of paint on the frame, and so I could see that. But I kind of turned to one of the other people that were looking at it, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see any other colors but black. And he's like, yeah, I don't get it either. And so he just kind of left. And I looked at some other paintings, and then I came back to that one. And one of the docents, one of the people that were helping, the volunteers at the museum, was there. And I said, can you explain this to me? I don't see any colors. And he said, well, I can't get any closer than a foot from the canvas, but he kind of put his face up there. And he said, if you look really closely, it almost looks like dust on the canvas, but those are the colors. And so I kind of looked a little more closely, and I thought, oh, sure enough, I think I do see some little teeny dots of color on that canvas. And so it kind of just has stuck with me, and I think I have to look at it again and contemplate it, see what the artist was trying to do. But sometimes, I don't know. I think I'm probably, like drawing too big of a comparison to my life, but sometimes everything looks black. It seems like I lose hope. I just see all the negatives in my life. And there are so many positives in my life, so many positives. But I get stuck on just looking at all the darkness, all the things that I could get frustrated with. But the color is there. I have to learn to focus on that. Uh, and so I don't know. It has stuck with me. I will have to check it out again. I picked a verse from Psalm 62, verse 5 to read today. And I think I'm going to read 5 through 8 actually. And it's another one that doesn't really mention the word patience, but I think the idea is there. And so I will read that for you now. it says, "Yes, my soul, find rest in God. My hope comes from him. Truly, he is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. My salvation and my honor depend on God. He is my mighty rock, my refuge. Trust in him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge." So that idea of finding rest in God, having our hope come from him, that can be a part of patience too, can't it? When we get frustrated with the things going on in life, we can patiently remember that God is with us, that we can find our rest in him, we can find our hope in him. So I hope that that is helpful. And I am going to pull the patience picture up here. And let me see if I just grab this one up here. I'm not showing very much yet. But as we look at this picture, I was thinking today too, when we are halfway through something, we can't see the whole picture. But as we pass that halfway point, we're going to start seeing more and more of this picture in the next couple of weeks. And the picture is going to become clearer. There's going to be a point where you're going to say, I know what's under there, even if we have a few pieces left to pull off at the end of the month. But you're going to see the picture as it gets uncovered in the next few days. And so a lot of times that is that way in life too. We get started on something in the beginning and we think, I'll never see the end of this. But when we pass the halfway point, we start to see the end in sight. When I am swimming, if I say, I'm going to swim 20 links in a row, until I get to lap number 10 or length number 10 of that 20 links, it feels like, oh, this is so long, I'll never get there. But once I pass the 10, then I do 12, and then I know, oh, there's only 8 left. And then as I get closer, I do 16, and then there's only 4 left. And so keep hope in your life too. If you are in the middle of something, it's going to keep getting better as you get closer to the end of those things. I'm drawing way too many comparisons to life in this video, but I think I'll leave you with that for tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow. I will maybe show you what I end up painting at the watercolor class tomorrow. And I hope that you have a good evening. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.